All right, guys. So tonight we're gonna be talking a little bit more about the daily duty. We may have time to answer some questions. I'm not sure. It depends on how in depth we get. But we're gonna be talking a little bit about how to do your daily duties as a technician in your business, meaning the pulling companies, prospecting companies, calling on companies, all of the technician stuff that needs to be done in your business. We're going to talk about how you do some of those things and how to get them on your calendar so that you make sure you're doing them, because you have all heard 1,000 times how to do them. So I know that most of you all know how to do them. The question is, how do you consistently do them? How do you keep from being distracted? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to go to my calendar, do a couple things in my calendar as well. And of course, the other trainers are going to definitely put in on what you should be doing and how you can be doing it the most successful way here. So just be prepared for that. If you want to know a little bit more about how to get that stuff on your calendar, I would suggest you open your calendar up. So when we start talking about it, you can keep up a little bit, but it'll be on YouTube. So you can always go back and rewind and pause and do all the stuff that you want to do as we get started here. So Sherranda Ivey, in about 10 seconds, you can do your introduction because, oh, no, you can do it now. We're on YouTube. You can start now. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Ready?
I am.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Sherranda Ivey out of Byron, Georgia. CDLP state trainer here. Been with Legal Shield for 9 years. 50K ring earner. Emory lead associate. Focus on the CDLP and small biz. And we earned the Ladies of Justice Award. Now it's been a couple of years ago, 2019. And so we've written over 1,000 personal memberships and, focus a lot on the small business and CDL, businesses. And so, just chose this as my major. Really love this industry, helping small companies, maximize their profits. So I do host the accountability call on Thursday nights. And it's just like an accountability mastermind call. People are sharing what is working for them and what is not working for them, or if they need help. So for those that are working in the space, definitely register to get on that. If we can assist you, don't hesitate to reach out. So with that, I'll pass it back over to you, Dunbar.
All right. So, quick. I guess it's just a quick survey, quick poll. So how many of you all, and just put a 1 in the chat for this, how many of you all know what you should be doing every day in your business, but you can't seem to consistently do it, right? You call on Mondays and you don't call on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or you call during the what we call it, the blitz session, but then you won't call on other days when it's not the blitz. So just go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you fall in that category, because I want to make sure I'm talking to the right, I want to make sure I'm talking to the right audience, I guess. How many of you all fit into that category? Not consistent, that's what I'm talking about. Not consistent. Let me see. James Hicks, Valeria Hamilton. All right. Who else? Stephanie. No, she didn't say that. Allison, Barbara, Jackie, Daniel.
There's 36 people on here.
Yeah, come on, y'all. Come on. See, and this is one thing, right? Y'all won't even answer a question on the Zoom. So I know y'all ain't gonna pick up the phone and call 20 people. Y'all don't even want to participate in your own rescue. So let me pick somebody. I'm gonna pick somebody. Hey, Jackie Hamilton, unmute yourself real quick.
Okay.
pick on somebody I know I can pick on. You know what I mean? So Jackie, so you say you're not consistent calling. So why do you think that you won't consistently call? Just give me an idea why you think you won't consistently call.
Well, I think the reason why is because I'm doing too many other things and I'm letting other people's importance become my importance. And you know, I'll have everything ready, started to do it. But I do a consistent one day, but that's it. Because the rest of the days I'm doing a lot of different things and I'll start off doing it for the week, have a good week. And then the next thing you know, I'm back at it again, letting other people stuff get in my way and I just don't do it.
Okay. So distraction is, and so if anybody hearing that, you may be thinking she's multitasking or she's distracted or any of those things. And guess what? Sometimes the solution to your problem isn't what you think it is. So whether it's a Jackie Hamilton or a Barbara or James or Jamesburg or anybody else that may be getting distracted, some of you guys are like, I got to figure out a way to deal with these distractions. And what you don't understand is that having things on your calendar sometimes will eliminate the distractions. Having things on your calendar sometimes will prevent you from doing things for other people because you know that there's something for you to do on your calendar. And it's hard for you to sometimes understand that when you don't have it on your calendar. So when somebody says they have an emergency and you don't even have anything to do on paper, then it's like, well, I guess I can help them put that fire out. So calendar will help you guys do that too as well. And I hope this is going to be helpful to you guys because it's not fully, totally just about, okay, I'm doing CDL. What do I do? Guess what? If you're not making calls, then I don't care what you're doing, you're not doing it. I don't care whether you're opening CDL groups, regular groups, selling a small business plan. Guys, activity comes before whatever you're planning on doing. So I don't care what side of the business, what industry, if you're saying, well, I came here because I wanted to hear about CDL. Well, guess what? There is no about CDL to hear if you're not willing to pick up the phone and make a phone call because you're not doing no business. So you can say you on whatever side of the business you want to say you on. If you're not writing any business or making any calls, then you're not doing any business. So really, you're not. All you're doing is you just in business on paper. Hope that's fair to say. So it starts with being that technician and saying, I'm going to do the day-to-day stuff. So thanks, Jackie, for giving us that. I'm going to ask one more person. I'm going to go to a guy. So let me take Jim Hicks, somebody else I know I can mess with. So Jim, if you can unmute yourself if it's possible. Going once. Going twice. I guess Jim said me messing.
You say no mic, no speakers.
Oh, no mic, no speaker. Okay, let me go to Smile. We're trying to go to a guy because I already did a girl. Let's see. Clarence, my man, Clarence Bramley. Unmute yourself, brother.
Okay, yes, I'm here.
Now, I'm reading what you're saying there, but I'm gonna act stupid like I don't know what you're talking about, so you can explain it. So tell us why you're not calling consistently.
Okay, I'm not hearing you. Hang on, let me turn my sound up.
He said he's calling. He called on his designated days. He's just not doing a lot of them. That's his deal.
I need to do more, but
Okay.
I do call on my designated days.
Designated days. He got designated days.
Can you hear us, Clarence?
Okay, I can now, yes.
Okay, so we see you put I need to do more, but I do call on my designated days. So tell me what you mean by that. Tell us what you mean by that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I've designated certain days to make phone calls, and those days are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So, and on those days, I try to do at least, I have a minimum of 5 calls. So I try to do 5 calls on that day, on those particular days. And usually I start with the blitz call. So it's around quarter to 11 o'clock. I mean, a quarter to 12 and to 1 o'clock. And I try to make at least 5 calls during that time.
Okay.
or should I say a minimum of 5 calls.
Gotcha. Minimum of 5 calls. I got you. That makes sense. Good, good. So we're gonna talk about your circumstance too. And again, all of this stuff you guys are going. And the reason why I'm asking random questions, guys. And look, everybody, I didn't speak to these people ahead of time. They're telling us their challenge right here live. This is not anything that was pre-planned. And I'm gonna show you guys how calendaring will help with both of those scenarios. So I want you to get in a mindset as a technician in your own business, meaning the person that's doing the grunt work, right? The person that's doing the thing that makes your business go. So if I own a hair salon or a barber shop, the technician is the barber, right? So
Right.
we're selling CDL memberships. We're in Legal Shield. So as a technician, I'm doing what? I'm selling the plan. I'm picking up the phone and calling people. I'm walking in the front door places. That's technician work. For those that missed last week. So how do you become a better technician and more organized technician so that you can call more consistently and choose more days of the week to call, like Clarence was just saying? He's got 3 days. He's doing a minimum of 5 calls. How can you do that a little bit more quickly? So I'm gonna show you guys a couple of ways that you can do that. And guys, you know what, Google is free. So the reason why I like Google is because it syncs with so many things, and it does it. There's no excuse of I don't have the money to pay for this software. No software to pay for. It's Google. So everything I'm gonna show you, you can do at no cost. So there's no reason why you can't be able to do it. Guys, follow that?
Yeah.
All right. So let me real quickly go to my calendar, or a calendar, I should say. Let me go to a calendar, because I got more than one. So let me just see if I can get to something here. All right. So I'm gonna switch this calendar. You guys should see, I should be seeing y'all, just nod your head if you're seeing my screen. All right, good stuff. There's not nothing crazy going on, right? There's not 2 people fighting in the back or nothing, right? Okay, I just want to make sure y'all woke. All right, so here we go. So a blank calendar. So one, remember what I told you guys, and some of this I'm gonna do real quick. Remember, you can go back and look at this as many times as you want. I talk fast, but you can, when you play in the video on YouTube, guess what? You can slow it down as much as you want. So you can slow down if I'm talking too fast. I just want to get through some of this stuff so that you all aren't kind of like trying to figure out what to do next. Remember, if you're sleeping, I want you to fill your calendar as fast as you can so you get all the regular stuff out of the way, so that when you're setting up your schedule to make your calls, that you're not looking at all this empty space and saying, man, this is overwhelming. Do I put a call here? Do I put a call here? How many of y'all sleep? That's a fair question, right? Y'all sleep, right? How many of y'all sleep at least 6 hours? Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. At least 6 hours. Shame on y'all who not sleeping 6 hours. At least 6 hours, right? Some of y'all are shocked. So real simply, put that on your calendar. So I'm just gonna look at Tuesday, right? Just for an example, I'm gonna click on no title, click on more options. I'm doing this quick. Don't worry about it though. I know I'm doing it fast, but don't worry about it. All right, so I'm just gonna put sleep. So does this thing catch up? All right, sleep, and I'm gonna put 12 to 6. Just say 6 hours. 12 to 6. Boom. Got it out the way. 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Monday the 15th, right? So that's about 6 hours of sleep time. I'm gonna make that daily, right? Because I sleep every day. You should sleep every day. For y'all that don't know that. So I'm not gonna put any notifications right now. Not important for this. I'm just trying to block off some time here so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So if I put sleep here, I got that all set up on my calendar. I'm just gonna click save so that it shows up on my calendar. So every day. So guess what? If I sleep 6 hours a day and it's 24 hours a day, I just filled 25% of my entire calendar. You guys follow that? 6 times 4, 24 hours in a day. So a fourth of my calendar is already done. Any of you all that have jobs, if y'all working 9 to 5s out here, guys, real simple, 8 to 4. If you're working 8 to 4, just put that on your calendar. And I'm only showing you that just so you can have some time blocked away, out the way, so that you can see how simple it is to put other things on your calendar. So if you're working, put that on your calendar, 8 o'clock, I'm gonna say 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I guess those are regular working hours. I don't have a job, so I don't know, but I'm just going to say that this is regular work hours, right? So these are my work hours. I'm gonna color code my work hours green. And if you need to put notifications, you can. If you want to put your location for work, you can. Not a big deal. I'm gonna go here again, and I'm gonna make this right every day, Monday through Friday. See, guys, see that? It says every weekday. Oh, hold on. Let me see something. Let me do a little bit of annotating here. All right. So you see my little red dot? So every weekday, Monday through Friday. If you work some other days of the week, do whatever your schedule is. I'm just kind of throwing something up here so that it's there. So for anybody with a 9 to 5 that's sleeping 6 hours a day, your calendar is already hit for all of this time. And if you got anything else going on a regular basis, you got it going on and you can add those things. But those are just two staples I know are going on in most people's lives. So if you're going to make calls, you got to first determine as a technician how many phone calls that you're going to make a day. And really, I'm going to be honest with you all. If you're doing business solutions, which if you're on this call, I'm quite sure you probably are. You need to be making phone calls every single day, Monday through Friday. If you're going to choose that you are not going to make phone calls every day for whatever reason, those days that you're not making phone calls need to be a Monday or a Friday, or a Monday and a Friday. Why? Because you're going to get less people to answer the phone. And CDLP, you're going to get less people on a Monday or Friday. Now, let me ask Sherranda Ivey this too, because she makes a lot of calls, and see what her idea is on making calls. So Sherranda Ivey, if you can't make calls every day, what days would you not make calls based on your experience?
Mondays and Fridays. Mondays, people are busy putting out fires from the weekend, kicking off the week, getting stuff started for the week, getting drivers out. But a lot of them are just busy on Mondays. And Fridays, a lot of people, believe it or not, they 12 o'clock, they checked out. They may be there, but they're not really trying to communicate with people outside. But a lot of them really check out, especially the people that you want to talk to. Believe it or not, a lot of owners, they try to come in early. So if you're talking to an owner operator, he's trying to get in by 12 so he can go deal with his business, like maybe the bank and things like that. Got a lot of running around to do. So me personally, if I do calls on Fridays, I try to do them early. And Mondays, if I do them on Mondays, I do them in the afternoon. But a lot of times I try not to really do a lot of dials on Mondays and Fridays. That's just what I've learned.
Okay, good. So we're on the same page as that with that. So let's say that you're not making calls again, because I don't want to be overwhelming for people. Now I took the job off here so I can put some calls on here. So don't worry about it. I just pulled it down so I could make room to make calls, because I know all of you all don't have a 9 to 5. So let's say you don't have a 9 to 5 and you've got your full day to do Legal Shield or however you're going to set yourself up. Let's say that's your scenario. If you're saying, again, I'm not going to make calls every day. If you're not going to make calls every day, I get it. So let's just look at Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So for those that feel like 5 days a week is overwhelming, we're going to give you 3 days so that it makes more sense and you can build up to 5 days. So does that make sense? If that makes sense, put a 2 in the chat. So let's look at Tuesday as the blitz day, 11 a.m. to 2, or 11 a.m. to 1, I'm sorry, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I'm going to go to my calendar. Right? And you want to schedule everything. You guys know how I am about schedule. You want to schedule everything, your breaks, your calls, your space in between, your time in between, bumper time in between your trainings, your calls, so that you don't one runs into the other. You want to stop all of that. So I'm gonna go right here to calls, right? And for title, I'm gonna put PPLS. Now, I'm not gonna do that. PPLSI, that's who's doing the blitz. Well, if you're a business owner, put your hand in the air. Okay, so your blitz is for what? your business. So I want you to put the blitz on your calendar, but I want you to call the blitz a blitz for your business. Because yes, you're selling Legal Shield's plan, but you have your own business and you're selling through your business, right? So I think Wilma's on here, and Wilma is, right, Wilma, you SOH Enterprises, Wilma? All right, SOH Enterprises. So SOH, I'm trying to steal her company name either, it's already, she's incorporated. SOH Enterprises is the name of her company, right? So call Blitz, because you have to start identifying your company as a separate entity, guys, because you aren't your company, your company isn't you, right? That's just sidebar. It's all in your language and how you operate. So if people are keep looking at you like you're a one-man show, it's because you keep on, you're acting like a technician, not an entrepreneur, which means your business probably has your name on it. So for those that know, I changed my business from Training by Dunbar to TBD Coaching and Training, right? Because I didn't want my company named after me, so I changed the name. So one of the first signs that you're in the infancy stage of your business is normally you name your company after you. No offense if anybody's done that. I've done that more than once. So I'm not beating you up. All I'm saying is that's a sign for you to realize that you're making yourself the business and you want the business to operate separately. Does that make sense? So that's what you're looking to do. So here you'll see I'm put SOH Enterprises call Blitz, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I'm doing this Eastern time, obviously, whatever time zone you're in, that's what your calendar gonna have. That's gonna be my call time. Now, that's the actual call time. Now, if you are really committed and you're doing the training beforehand to pump yourself up, some of you all are like, oh, I don't know, I can't pick up the phone, it's too heavy, I gotta get in the mood. Well, guess what? There's a training that goes on before. Most marketplaces has a training before then. So I would put, and it depends on what marketplace you're in. I'm gonna put 10:15. 45 minutes before it starts at 11 o'clock, because with us, we have a training, and I know a lot of other areas, they have a training going on to prepare them for the blitz. That starts at 11 o'clock. So let's say 10:15. Now, after that blitz ends at 1 o'clock, you should have some paperwork to do. You should have something to do. Put your hand in the air if you know after you finish making calls, there's something that you need to be doing after that, right? Put your hand in the air, put a 3 in the chat, do something, let me know you're there, right? You should have something to do afterwards. It might, let's say it's going to take you an hour. I'm slow. If you're faster than that, put 30 minutes on your calendar, whatever you need to do. I would tell you to put at least an hour on there, but you know yourself. So that's going to be 2 o'clock. And part of the problem is most of us will not be honest about how much time we need to do stuff. That's why we don't get it done. That's why we don't make enough time to make sure it's there. 10:15 a.m. to 2 o'clock. Now that sounds like a lot, and you're thinking, man, that's a big block. Guess what? You've got to prepare to make calls, and you got things to do after you make calls. And then you're making 2 hours of calls. That is what running a business is. That is what doing technician work is. That is what you properly taking care of the call part, the prospecting part of your business, right, on those 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is what you're going to do 3 days a week. So here it is. I got that set up. And also remember that when this is done, I'm going to set a break time for myself, and you should be doing the same thing. Now, your schedule is different. Maybe you got to pick your kids up from school. Maybe you got to prepare dinner. Maybe you got to do something else. But that is a break. That means you're not working. So a break means that you're no longer doing whatever you're doing, right? You're not doing Legal Shield anymore. That means you're not calling your workout partner and talking to them about Legal Shield. That means you're not calling your family and talking about Legal Shield. That means you're not getting on the Legal Shield training. That means you're doing something that is not Legal Shield when you're done, because you have to take a break so you can get back in the right mind space when it's time to get back into working, especially if you're doing network marketing too. And then when the evening comes, you're going to be doing that. Take a proper break. So that 30-minute break that you're going to take, you're going to make sure when you're taking that break that you're not doing any business. Fold laundry, make something to eat, walk around the block, call a friend, have a conversation, check on your kids, whatever it is you do, but it shouldn't be Legal Shield. Put a 4 in the chat if that makes sense. I know some of y'all are like, this dude is scheduling my whole day out. I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help. So looking at this, notifications, if you're saying, hey, I need to set this up so that I'm ready. I know 10 minutes before, let's say 15 minutes before, you got your notification 15 minutes before. That's already locked in. If you need more than one notification, click it there. Then go ahead and schedule it for whatever color you want to do. Right? Let's do I guess this is somewhat purple, right, for Legal Shield. So purple, and now we're there, right? So we know we're doing our calls. If you want to keep notes here, you can. If you don't want to keep notes in this particular blitz call, guess what? On the right side of the screen, everybody see that right side of the screen? Guess what Google has? A place for you to take notes. It's called Google Keep. And you can even put this app on your cell phone so you can take notes even when you're not in front of your computer, right? So you can put notes, you can take notes in here. So take notes. So I called Clarence Bramley Transportation, right? And then however you take your notes, right? I can go down here and say, no answer. And I can say done. That could be it for that note, right? And then I can go here and I can take another note when I'm making that call. And I can say, I spoke with Sherranda Ivey from Ivey Transportation. Am I spelling right? Quotation. And she suggested that I send some materials, right? Done. I took notes on that one, right? Make my next call, take notes. Make my next call, take notes. Make my next call, take notes. So I can take notes right here on the sidebar, and I can also open this up on my whole screen. So I got it in the sidebar right now, but if I click this little arrow that says open a new tab, I can open a new tab, or I can just make this area bigger so that I can take care of it somewhere else on there. So if I say open new tab and I click there like this, because that space might be too small for some of y'all. Y'all might be thinking that's not enough room for me, right? So if that's the case, you can open up the whole section here on notes right here, and then you can just jump back and forth, right? You can go here and say, I'm gonna make my call, right? I got my calendar up, and then you can take your notes here. If you got note-taking software, if you're using HubSpot, if you got a CRM set up, you've got a Trello or a Asana or something already set up, guys, then you don't have to do this part. I'm just talking to the people who are saying it's too complicated. I don't have a place to take notes. I don't have money for software. I'm talking to that person that's making excuses and saying why they can't make calls daily and that it's taking them so long to make calls because they have to do all of this stuff. So after I make my call and I take that quick note like that, you see it's right here, set up right here. My notes are right there. I can arrange all that in that hour I have left after I finish doing my calls. I can go in here and touch these notes up and do other things with them. I can add people to the notes if I got a workout partner. I can customize the notes. I can add an image if I got a logo for the company I'm calling on. Those are all things that I can do in here later on. If you already got a CRM and you already got that stuff covered, guys, then don't worry about it. I'm just giving you guys some different options here to do stuff, right? So you can put whatever the result here if you want to of your blitz, and then you got your blitz on your calendar. You see it there. You know it's every Tuesday, right? So I'm gonna go to does not repeat, and I'm gonna say weekly on Tuesday. I'm gonna click that, and I'm gonna click save. And now every Tuesday, that's the 15th, right? Tuesday the 15th, 22nd, there. 29th, there, 5th, there, is there every week, right? So it's always going to be there from every Tuesday. So you can follow suit if you want to. You can say, you know what? I'm gonna do the same time on Wednesday because that's a good call time. But let's say it's not a good call time. Let's say on Wednesdays you can call first thing in the morning because you always want to test different times to make sure you know when your prospects are there, right? So you always want to just try different areas of the day. So let's say you say, I'm gonna start calling at 9 in the morning on Wednesday. Same model, guys. So you're gonna click your calendar, open it up, and you're gonna do the same thing again. You're gonna put the time in here, what you're calling for, all of those things. If you don't wanna do it all again, all you have to do is go to this event, click on it, click the little 3 dots here, duplicate it, right? Same thing, SOH call blitz. Now you're just gonna change the day to Wednesdays, change the time. So this is 10:15 to 2 o'clock. So this is basically 10 to 11, 11, 12 to 1. It's basically 4 hours. So if I just push it back, it's going to change the back time anyway. So if I go down here and I say, okay, I'm gonna start my calls at 8:15, it'll change it. So now I'm calling from 8. Now I'm starting at 8:15. And really, I'm not gonna start at 8:15 because if I'm doing this myself on Wednesday, corporate's not doing any kind of training. So that's not gonna happen. So you basically will be going from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock and then doing your notes from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Does that make sense? Put a 5 in the chat if that makes sense. So on that next day, because corporate is not doing anything, you're doing it on your own, that 45-minute training won't be there. So you can now just say 9 o'clock, right, to 12 o'clock. And you're going to spend 2 hours calling, and you're going to spend another 1 hour getting your notes together. Now, you don't have to spend 2 hours calling. I'm just a suggestion. I'm just throwing numbers around here. Whatever your deal is. If you have a 9 to 5 and you're saying, I can't call for 2 hours because I got a full-time job, well, maybe you can call during your lunch hour, right? Maybe you can call in. Maybe you can call at your breaks. You may have to add time up. You may have to do 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, an hour here, hour there, whatever you need to do to work your world. Everybody's schedule is different, so you got to work that out based on your schedule. I'm just showing you how to get it on your calendar so that it makes sense. So now that I duplicated it, the other stuff is going to stay the same. A notification in 15 minutes, all that's going to stay the same. The color code is going to stay the same. All I did was change that. And now it says weekly on Wednesdays. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now I've got a call day on my schedule for Wednesdays as well. And you see, again, it's going to show up on the 20th. It's going to show up on the 27th. And it's going to be there every Wednesday until I stop it. So that's how you want to set those times to do that. Now, you also want to put a break on your calendar. So again, I mentioned this, and sometimes we don't do it. If you don't put that there's a break on your calendar, then your brain will keep badgering you to tell you need a break. If you want your brain to stop asking you to do stuff, then put it on paper, put it on your calendar so that your brain knows that you have it under control. So if you put break there, and on this particular day here, which is Wednesday, on my calls in at 12 o'clock, I could simply just put from 12 o'clock to 12:30 for a break. That's it, right? I got a 30-minute break, and you're going to do whatever. You don't have to worry about it. You can change that color code if you want to. Maybe your breaks are yellow, right? So you got your break is yellow. I'm not going to make it a Zoom meeting. I'm just going to save it. And now I got my break there. See, once your calendar is filled up with color-coded things, you won't let people distract you. When somebody calls with an issue, you won't help them deal with their issue when you know that it's something in your calendar that you're supposed to be doing. Because what will happen is you'll start to get really obsessed with making sure that you're doing everything on your calendar. It takes a little bit of time, but you will start really letting your calendar be your boss, and you won't let people distract you when they're calling with different things and they're texting you and all those other things. But you have to have something in place, because if you don't have something in place preventing you from taking those calls and doing those favors, I promise you this: if somebody has an emergency and you don't answer your phone, you won't know they have one. And when you call back later on, if it really was an emergency, they already got somebody else to help them take care of it. Now, I don't know if any of y'all tried that before, but I do it all the time. It works. I promise you it works. If somebody's calling me and I don't answer the phone, you don't know how many times I've called them back in the evening. Like, hey, you called me earlier. Oh, yeah, I was calling you because I had this going on, but don't worry about it. I had somebody take care of it. Great, right? Not my problem to worry about. So don't be available to people whenever they call. Keep your schedule so you don't have, that way you can be the technician in your business when it's time to be the technician. Now, of course, as weeks go by, I'm gonna talk about being a manager and being an entrepreneur in the same CDO space. But right now I'm talking about being a technician. When you're making calls, when you're walking into places, you need to ignore your phone the same way you would do at your job if they told you couldn't talk on your phone at your job. Stop being available. Cut your ringer off. Put your phone on vibrate. Put your phone in a place where you can't use it. If you're making dials and you're using your phone, then obviously if you're making dials, you shouldn't be taking somebody's call while you're making dials that's calling you about something. I don't care if it's a three-way call. I don't care if it's somebody on your team. Unless somebody bleeding or dying, if you're making calls, guys, stop answering your phone. Just stop answering and work your business. Eliminate those distractions. Put yourself in a space where nobody can bother you, and meaning physically in your house. Go inside a home office. shut the door, and make your calls. If somebody knocks on your door, when you're on the phone, talk louder so that they know you're on your phone. Right? Anybody ever tried that? Y'all never tried that before? I know all the tricks, I'm telling you. I know all the tricks. So if you're on your phone and you're talking and somebody's knocking on your door in your office, raise your voice. Yeah, Sherranda, and later on, we're going to talk again about all this. So they'd be like, oh, he on the phone, right? And if they still knock on your door, they don't care about what you're doing. They don't care about what they want, guys. You got to stop letting people run your time so that you can do this. Because these are things that you guys are hearing all the time. Y'all hearing it on every call. You're hearing it on conferences when y'all go to the conferences, but you're not implementing it. Because y'all letting everybody else come into y'all space and say, oh, I need you to take care of this because I can't do it. I don't know how to do it, right? Or they compliment you and tell you you're so good at it, they want you to help, right? Whatever it is they're saying to you, ignore it, guys. Just stick to your calendar, because if you put the right activity on your calendar, that will make you successful. When you do the things that are on your calendar, you'll become successful. The problem is we put it in our head. We know we need to do it. We put it in our head. And then we say, okay, I'm going to write these things down. And then what happens? You can't even find the paper you wrote it on. Now it's time to make calls and you like this. Oh, where that sheet of people I'm supposed to be calling? You can't find nothing because everything is scrambled. Nothing is organized. Get it on your calendar. Have everything where you can go and see it to make those dials so that you can be the kind of technician in your business that you can start managing your business, and then you can start running your business from the outside because you've done all the technician things correctly. And the only way to do that is to buckle down. You don't need it to be a 90-day run. Stop waiting for somebody to hype you up with all of this stuff, because I know what's coming. It's March, so I know what's about to come next. Oh, guys, it's the beginning of the second quarter. It's time to run again. No, you should be running today because your business is important right now. It doesn't have to be the beginning of a second quarter. It doesn't have to be because we're going into the next conference. It doesn't have to be because you're coming out of the next conference. It has to be because you're in business so that you can make money and protect families, if that's why you're in this business. And you have to get up tomorrow morning and do it. You can't wait until somebody else motivates you. So if anybody on this line is like, as soon as we go to this conference and come out this conference, I'm gonna really start running. You mean to tell me you're about to hold your business back another month? Like, are you serious? Like, guys, you got to get busy like right now. Get the stuff on your calendar, schedule yourself out so you know what you got going on. So have your Tuesday, your Wednesday, and your Thursday set up. When you get comfortable doing that, then if you want to move into more days, you can try a Monday or a Friday if you've got some more times that you can call, kind of see what's happening on a Monday and a Friday. But right now, I would suggest stick with those 3 days and don't make them all initial call days. Make one of them a follow-up day so you can follow up on the people that you've already initially contacted, because that'll help you out. Sherranda, you got anything you want to add to that?
No, but I mean, calendars are very important, and following them. You know, you gotta protect your time, for sure. Oh, you start sharing. Oh, you gotta protect your time for sure, because like Jackie said, you know, everybody else's emergency, becomes your emergency. So, definitely good stuff.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So in the big scheme of things, going back to what Jackie said, it's like she's like, she knows what she should be doing, but she's letting people distract. One of the ways to prevent from being distracted, guys, is to have something to do on your calendar, which will prevent you from if you already know you got something scheduled that's coming up to do, you're not going to be available. But the problem is there's something that needs to be done, but it's not set in stone in the sense that it's not on your calendar. And we're disregarding the importance of putting it on your calendar and using your calendar as the go-to place for you to see what you need to be doing next. If somebody contacts you, if you know that your day is busy, I know when I get up in the morning that my day is already busy because my day was already set days ago. So when somebody emails me or texts me and says, hey, is there any way we can have a call today? There's no way, because you can't set an appointment with me on Monday when it's Monday, because my Monday is already scheduled. I don't have no time to talk to you today. You got to set that appointment. You should have set that appointment yesterday. That's not going to work. Now, there's some people that I will squeeze a call in with because I know they're busy and they're working the business and I know that they need something and I know that they're serious about what they want. You're always going to make exceptions for stuff like that, but it will eliminate all of the people who are just bothering you. And that's truly what they're doing. They're bothering you to get something from you that's a one-off, that's not going to spin into anything successful, and they're slowing down what you're doing. That's like going to the gym with somebody and you lift 150 pounds and they lift 75. And every time you turn around, they're asking you to stop lifting what you lifting to help them lift what they're trying to lift. And you're like, I came here to get an hour workout and I'm working out for 30 minutes because the other 30 minutes I'm over here helping you lift something you can't lift. You guys follow what I'm saying? You got to stop doing everybody else's heavy lifting instead of lifting your heavy lifting, because you don't get no muscles that way because you helping them lift stuff that's not making no muscles for you guys. That's what you're doing. And you go to bed at night thinking you're helping people, but you're hurting your business. You're hurting your business when you're doing that. The best thing you can do for yourself is be focused on you, not be focused on other people's stuff. So as a technician in your business, technicians have their head down. They're in the deal. They're doing the deal, right? They're closing the deal. They're knocking on the doors. They're making the phone calls. They're prospecting the companies. That's what technicians do. Managers help people. Right now, be the technician in your business so that your business is doing well enough, because you can't really even help nobody if you haven't grown any. If your business is not really growing because all you're doing is answering your phone, answering emails, answering text messages, trying to be a godsend for everybody instead of running your business. So what time is it? I got clocks all over the place. Okay, here we go, 9:19. So let's see real quickly if we make sure John didn't jump in here and I don't know. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any, we got 10 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions about what we talking about? Don't ask me about a safety, not about a safety score. I'm talking about what we talking about, because I know some of y'all get on and be like, my trucking company insurance went high. What should I do? Get on the next call. We'll talk about that. What's your question?
What's the site for the Google that you just showed us?
Uh-huh.
The Google Calendar?
Uh-huh.
I just want the site so I can do digital. I already do paper.
Oh.
I already got a calendar.
So let me show you how easy this is, right? For Google, all you need to do is go to google.com, right? So let's say you go to your Gmail, right? This is my Gmail, right? So Gmail here, see this little box over here? Oh, let me put my little thing up here just in case.
Yeah.
I know some of y'all can't see sometime like me. So let me. All right. So you see this little square with the dots? If you click on that, that'll take you to everything Google. YouTube, Google Play, Gmail, Maps, Google Search, Calendar, Drive, Translate, News, Photos, Google Docs, Google Sheets, whatever you want. So if you go here, just click on Google Calendar right there, and it'll open up Google Calendar. And all the stuff that I'm talking about, and it'll be another time in the future or whatever. And I think I already got a training on my YouTube channel somewhere about operating your Google Calendar. But regardless of what, on this sidebar, you can do tasks, to-do lists, Keep, Google Keep to take your notes. All of that's right here on the sidebar, so you don't really have to go anywhere. And even if you do it with your phone, if you're somewhere, and you see a company, and you take a picture of it, see a truck, take a picture of the truck. Right. So on my Google Keep, I think I got like pictures of vehicles where I was taking pictures of vehicles at one time years ago. I don't know how it's old. It's some stuff I was doing a while back, and it will translate right over to your Google Keep on your computer. Whatever you do on your phone, it just translates over. So see this? This is old stuff, man. I mean, like when I say old, I mean like maybe 2015 or something like that. So I was taking pictures. I took a picture of this company so I can prospect this company. I took a picture of this so I can prospect this company. So I'm taking pictures, and I don't have to send the picture anywhere. When I take the picture with Google and put the picture in Google Keep, when I go to my calendar, I can now pull it up right here, and then I can put it on my calendar to call that company. and then put the details in there. It's really just that simple. So I would just really like, it'll really save you guys some time, and you can keep everything in place, and it won't be such a hard time jumping from one thing to the next. Like sometimes we make it really difficult. Paper, I know, I get it. I get the paper thing. I know some of y'all are transferring over from paper to electronic, and it takes some time to do all that. But when you're fully electronic, you're gonna realize how it just really lightens your load to be able to do that. So hopefully that helped, Wanda.
I have a question,
Thank you.
Wilma.
Hey, Wilma.
I have a list of 20 truck drivers.
Uh-huh.
How would I list those 20 on the calendar, or do I? Because I have a sheet with them all, with all the prospects on them.
So you got them just as prospects, and you would like to put them on your calendar to call them?
Yes.
Oh, so if I had that list, I'm gonna share my screen again real quick so that y'all can see what I'm doing here. So if I have my calendar set, let me go to this empty calendar here. All right. So if I had to make that call, then I'm gonna go to, if I say I'm gonna call them at 9 in the morning on Thursday, I'm gonna click Thursday at 9 in the morning and more options. And I'm gonna say, call, who I'm gonna pick with? Daniel True. Call Daniel True, right? That might be the truck driver that I'm talking about calling.
Okay.
Right? I'm gonna put that there, 9 o'clock. I'm just gonna give myself 9 to 9:15, right? 9 a.m. to 9:15 on that day. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna remind myself 10 minutes before. Notification, 10 minutes before I get a notification to call that person.
Okay.
I'm gonna color code it, right? Purple, because it's a legal shield call.
Okay.
And down here, I'm gonna put the details on it. So I met Daniel at a truck stop while traveling. He is an owner operator, right? Shorthand, right? So I spelled traveling wrong, I think, right? All right. So he is an owner operator, right? And then I'm gonna put his phone number, right? I'm gonna put, 904 123 4567. So that's his phone number. If I got his email, I'll put that too. Done, right? Take 30 seconds. You put it on your calendar. You got it color coded. You go ahead and save it. And now you got that call here.
Okay.
Now, something else you could have done. Say you wanted to just do it as a task, as opposed to putting it on there as an event. You could have also either went right to your phone and pulled up tasks, Google Tasks. So the same way I had Google Keep, right, guys? Google has a Google Task too, and it's connected to your calendar. You can have the app on your phone, and you could have just put it in there on your phone. But let's say you was doing it on your computer. Same sidebar, but now I'm gonna hit the blue check mark. Right, so that's loading my tasks. Get started. Add a task. Same thing. Call Daniel True. He is an owner operator. I met at a truck stop while traveling. Right?
Okay.
So I got that there, date and time. When am I gonna do it? I'm gonna do it on Thursday, the 17th. Set time. I'm gonna do it at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's not gonna repeat. That's all I'm gonna put there. I'm gonna click OK. Right?
Uh-huh.
Now it's there. So now if I move my calendar over, let me add my text. Let me see tasks. Let me see. Where do I have this?
Now I'm doing 20 calls that same day.
Okay, so if you're gonna do it that way, you can put it on there as an event. I'm just showing you different ways, just in case you wanted to do it. Okay, because I'm in April. That's the problem. Let me see. I'm supposed to be in March 17th. All right. So if you guys see here, that task that I just put here is on my calendar right here. Task. You guys see that?
Yeah.
I made that task. Now, once I make that call, if I click this dot and make the check and say I did it, task completed. And it draws a line through it right on my calendar. Done.
Okay.
So if I do it as a task, I can do it that way, or I can just actually add it as
Event.
Yeah. Can you hear me? All right. So I can add it as a task this way, or I can put it on there as an event. So if I was doing 20 calls that day, like Wilma just said, I would actually just go in and put those 20 calls. Now, again, let's say she put those 20 calls on her calendar. Keep in mind, I think I did that on what, the 14th? Where did I do that at?
17.
I don't even know what day I put that. I think I put it the 17th, was it? 17th of April.
In April.
14th. There we go. All right. So you see this where I put the call that she said for Daniel True, right? So if you do this, you're going to call that person again. So when you finish making that call and putting what happened, so after you make that call, you go down here and you say, call Daniel, and he was on the road. He suggested I call back in 2 days. Right? That's it. Got the A. You don't have to create a whole nother setup again. That's it. So now I'm going to change this call time for 2 days, in 2 days. So now I'm going to go here to the 14th. He said call in 2 days. That's Saturday. Maybe let's say he said call me in 2 days, but call me at 10 o'clock. So now you're going to put 10 o'clock, 2 days later. You keep everything else the same. Your notes are here. You're keeping your notes for this prospect right in the details, right? If you have any attachments for this person, you can hit this paper clip and you can add attachments. So if you sent this guy some CDLP materials, put them in this attachment so you know you sent it to them already. So a year later, if you haven't closed them, you're not sending them stuff you already sent, because everything you sent them, you can put it as an attachment and it'll always be there, right? You can bullet point, put 1s, 2s, 3s, whatever you need to do. You can keep this going for this person right here. And when you click save.
What's create meeting notes?
Huh?
What was create meeting notes? What you just did?
Yeah, I did. So if I go back in it. So here, you see down here, I can, every time I call that person, I can put the notes from the call. So if I called him on the, what is it, the 16th, April 6th or April 14th, I can put 4/14/2022, right? That's when I made that call. He said call back in 2 days. So now I can say.
I'm talking about right there. Say create meeting notes. That's what you're doing? Or you?
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. So I can create those notes down here and have information. So down right here, this is like just extra notes. So if I click on that.
Okay.
Right. So these are your notes. So every time you go back here, you can look at the last thing that happened, guys. And there's no confusion because this is that person that you called. So you're on our account for Daniel True. And now you can look at every call you made. I made a call on this day. I made a call on that day. I made a call on that day. Now you can follow every call you made, and you can also look it up. So after I saved it, right?
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. After I save this, if I'm looking 6 months later and I'm looking for Daniel True, I can go here and put in Daniel True, and it'll let me know every appointment I had with him. Saturday, April 16th is the next appointment. So I can pull them up right in the search bar and click it, and it's going to take me right to the event, just like this. And now all I got to do is open it up, and now I can say, okay, so what happened with him when I talked to him last? This is what I sent them already. When you click the attachments, right? Here's his phone number. Here's how I met him. I call them on the 14th, I call them on the 16th, this is what happened. I got all those details here. So I can always keep up with this prospect. Every time I call them, all I'm gonna do is go back to that same account and then put a new date to call them on a new date and then put that date down here and take notes under that date. So if you don't have a CRM, if you don't have a task manager in there, that you can really use Google to keep notes right here and pull it up in your calendar. And if you want to do any side notes, you can always just take this information and say, well, I want to have this as a quick note because I might talk to him while I'm in the car and I'm out in the field because I'm not going to be home. I can copy that information, come here to notes, take a note and say, Daniel True notes, and then paste it right here and then click done. And now I got those notes. Now I can go to my cell phone when I'm out in the field. I can click those notes, open them up right on my cell phone on Google Keep, and then call that prospect. Put notes in there after I make the phone call, close it, and then when I get home, copy and paste the notes into my calendar. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can do all of that stuff. And again, all of this is free. Like all of this software is free. You're not paying for anything. You're just using this stuff to keep up with your business and operate as a business owner and make sure you keep everything organized. So hopefully that's helpful.
Clarence asked, would she put the 20 calls on her calendar without an appointment?
Without an appointment? Yeah, you can put the 20 calls on there and then keep up with the people that way if you don't have a task manager. So if you got a CRM and you're keeping everything in the CRM, I wouldn't necessarily put calls on there that way at that point. But if you're not using the CRM and you're saying, I got 20 calls I got to make, and these are 20 prospects. Now, if these are just some random companies that you got no idea what's going to happen, that's, it depends on how you plan on setting that up. With me, you can put, I just throw them on there because you're going to have to write it somewhere anyway. When you make phone calls, whether you're using a pad or whatever, you're going to have to write it. So if you're saying, I got these 20 calls I got to make, I would not set the 20 calls up ahead of time on my calendar. I would do them as I'm calling them because this is your call time. So I would say, okay, I'm about to make calls. It's 11 o'clock. I got these 20 calls I'm going to make. So it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to make my calls. I'm going to go to 11 a.m. on whatever day it could be. And I'm going to open up my calendar. And I got a list of these 20 people I'm going to call. I'm going to say, okay, I'm about to make my first call. I'm going to put that person's name, Sherranda Ivey. It's 11 o'clock. I'm making the call. I'm going to start that now. Make that call, take those notes, close that out, go to the next call, put them in there. I'm putting them in my system as I'm making the calls at that point. And then if that person says, call me back in a week, then all you got to do is before you close it out, put the call them back in a week. If you don't get anybody, then you just put on your calendar when you're going to call them back, whenever you decide you want to call them back, a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever it's going to be. That's totally up to you. That's how I would do that. So you can put them on there ahead of time, or you can put them on there when you're starting the call. Because once you have them on your calendar, they're on there. That person is on there as a contact, as a prospect. And if you put them in there as a contact, then you, again, back to the sidebar, guys. If you got them in there as a contact, then you can always go over here and you got them in your system as a contact, in Google as a contact. So you click get started, and then you can put that person in there as a contact inside of Google, and now you just got them sitting over there on the side, and you can do whatever you need to do with them, pull them back over there whenever you need to. So again, one-stop shop with all of that stuff, if that's what you're planning on doing. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Hey, Robert, I got a question. So when you put the name up in the search, it brings up the person's name on the calendar. Does it also, I mean, like say it was 2 weeks ago, it'll bring that person up. Does it bring up their notes as well?
Yes. Yeah, when you click on them, it'll bring up that person's notes. So you'll always be able to see so if I'm on my regular calendar and I put, I don't know, I think I got, all right, so this is my Aaron's account, Aaron's furniture store, right? So with Aaron's, right, which is one of my group accounts, if I type Aaron's in there, it pulls up one of my stores, right, Aaron's. If I click that store, it's gonna pull up this account. And this is old. Look, Friday, January 14. What year? I don't know. I think it's got the year somewhere. Where's that? 16. December 1916. It's got all my notes. See, it's got all my notes here.
Yep, I see it. Okay, thanks.
It's got all my notes from every call I made to this company,
Okay.
to this location, and what was said. So I can look at the notes right there, or I can click edit and open it all the way up on my screen. So, you know, all you gotta do is put the person's information in there, right? Even you. So I can put you in there because I know you on my calendar. See that?
Yeah,
It's
okay.
pulling up every appointment. And if I click on that appointment, whatever notes I put in there, it's gonna pull those notes up. So it's a great way to keep up with your contacts without having to pay for software or having it in a one-stop shop where, you know, because you can open up Google anywhere. You can open it up on your cell phone. You can open it up if you're out of town on a different computer. It's a cloud. That's what I like about Google. It's in the cloud, so you can open that stuff up whenever you want to and make sure that you got all of the stuff that you need to have right there. So, and guys, that's not even 1% of what you can do with Google. I'm just, you know, I'm trying to keep it to where, you know, technician making your calls, because we're making this way more difficult than we need to. And we think we need to have this big elaborate setup because everybody's selling something, right? Get on this, get this, buy this, and get all this stuff in place. And y'all want phone burners and CRMs and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, somebody called me the other day telling me something, hey, I know this person, they're going to put everything in my CRM and get me all set up. I'm like, how many contacts you got to even call? Why are you somebody going to set up something that you don't have? Can't nobody put no contacts in the system and you ain't got no contacts. You got to prospect people that have contacts. Right? So I'm just telling you, like, it's like everybody's getting ready, right? That's the old joke. When TD Jakes get ready. Some of y'all getting ready and you getting ready forever. You can't get ready forever. You gotta start going. You gotta start going. You can't be getting ready. Everybody getting ready. Because there's always something else coming out. So you're like, I'm waiting for this to come out, then I'm gonna be going. Some of us we done bought 3 different CRMs and we don't have 10 contacts in the first one we bought. Right? So we just looking for a reason to keep doing something other than making a phone call because we're scared to make a phone call. So put it on your calendar, make the calls, get busy, and the system got free systems. Google's a free system and it's connected to everything. So there's no excuse not to make calls and keep notes and keep yourself organized. And Google has every tool you need to keep you organized, right? And it all syncs together and they won't charge you a dime, right? And you can email them from there as well. And if somebody emails you back, Clarence emails me back and say, oh, Dunbar, I'm so sorry, I missed your email. I can get with you next Friday on the 14th. I can literally go to that email, right click and say calendar. And it's going to take everything he put in the email and put it in the calendar and make an appointment with him on my calendar using his email that he sent it from. Come on, guys.
Man.
Like that, it's that serious. It's that serious. So all we have to do is really go in there and do the stuff. And it's just that it's just that simple. But again, we're not working it that way. I don't think I have an email. Well, I might be able to make one. I might be able to take. Okay, let's just take this, whatever this is. Okay, something. If I wanted to make, I could literally make this into an event on my calendar. I can also turn this into different things on like see it says create an event. I can click that and create an event with it. It's going to take that item and put it right on my calendar. When I click create an event, it's taking it right to my calendar. So there's no excuse. If somebody emails you back and says they want to meet with you about whatever, look, everything that was in the email, they put it in there. I only got to put the details in there. It's done. It's done. And guess who's invited to this? The person who sent me the email. You see that? They're already in here. Google put them in there. If I want to do a Zoom with them, all I got to do is say, make it a Zoom. And it's going to log me into my Zoom. If I want to use Google Meet and I click this, it's going to log me into Google Meet. If I'm meeting at an address, all I got to do is put on here, Starbucks, Nautical Drive, and put it in there. Not only is it going to be here, but my Waze app on my phone is going to pull it up and tell me what time to leave the house so that I get there because it's traffic. It's no excuse. And everything I'm telling you about is all free. Everything I just showed you is all free. You don't have to pay nothing for it. You just got to be willing to do it. So how hard was it for me to set this calendar event? It put the title in there for me. It put the words in there for me. It added the person I'm meeting with to the calendar for me. I mean, come on. If you're not doing it, it's because you don't want to be doing it, right?
Not because you don't want to, because you didn't know how to.
Yeah, I mean, so there it is. So it's really just as simple as that.
So you suggest that we get, not we, but me or whoever, stop doing Outlook or whatever the other calendars and go to Gmail. This sounds like this is the thing to be in, right?
I mean, you know, if you got something that's working, right? Because I don't want to persuade people to leave something that's working. If anybody on here has something that they're utilizing and you got a system and it's working and you're making a significant amount of calls using that system, don't break away from what's working. But for those that's like, I don't know what CRM to use. I don't want to pay for a CRM. It's a free trial. What am I doing the trials of if I ain't made no money? I know all of that. Don't worry about all that. Just use Google. Google pretty much, you can run your business with Google at no cost. I'm telling you, there's not too much that you can't do with Google for free that will get your business. I would tell you, I would almost make a bet that you could get to 6 figures a year in your business using Google stuff, not paying for any software from any company. You don't need to. This will keep up with everything for you, and it's a cloud, so you can go on wherever you want. Even if you say, I'm running out of space because I'm using it for everything. Guess how much it costs to have a terabyte of space on Google for all your stuff? A terabyte of space, which is, what is that, 100 gigabytes? I mean, 1,000 gigabytes? A terabyte of space. A terabyte, guys, it's like $9.99 a month. It's $10. Come on, man. Y'all spending more than that at the ice cream shop. Seriously. Y'all spending double that on Netflix. Come on. You can have as much space as you need and have all these tools. Google Task, Google Keep, Gmail, and I'll show you guys in the next few weeks or so. Somebody just need to remind me where you can have several inboxes on Gmail still for free. Meaning that you can label your inboxes. You can have a Legal Shield inbox where nothing but Legal Shield stuff goes into it. You can have a family inbox where nothing but family stuff goes into there. If you own another business, you can have another inbox for just that business, and you can see all your inboxes in your regular Gmail for free. All for free. You can have more than one calendar for free. You can have a family calendar and a business calendar and a work calendar and a Legal Shield calendar, all for free, and merge them into one where you can see all the different appointments on one calendar, but the people that are associated with the other calendar can only see that calendar. So your significant other and your kids can only see your family calendar, but you can see your family and your work together. There's no reason why we can't be organized when you got tools that's going to do all that stuff for you for free. So, all right, that's it. I'm off my soapbox. Sherranda?
That's some good stuff.
Since we
That's some good stuff. I mean,
together,
that's
I've been talking for 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, that Google stuff, and it's free. Because I use paper and I use digital, but my digital is Google. So if I put everything from my tasks in there and take notes, I just started using Google Keeps probably about 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.